the goal is that every minute of this, from when it started till infinity, is recorded and published on YouTube 24/7, 365. That's the idea. Of course, there are chunks that are missing because we have technical problems. Usually, I end up recording the conversation independently of the raw room and publishing it the old way that I used to record shit. This is just instead turned into a very efficient way of having go-to-meeting sessions like I used to have before, which was I'd put up an announcement, I'd say, I'm having a go-to-meeting session now, join me, and then I'd make videos during that session. And sometimes it'd be about a specific topic. And that worked fine, but then people always wanted to hang around after the meeting, so I'd make someone the organizer, and then they'd have to leave, and and then well, it just lent itself to this notion. Now, this video, I almost certainly will edit and put up because this is a really good conversation, and
all right,
and I'll just grab it from the raw room because I haven't been recording it, and so I mean, and that's the nice thing about it is you don't know whether things going to be interesting or good flowing conversation.
It's kind of like a sketchbook.
Talking with famous people.
Like this format, I think. I mean, I'm a huge fan of just having sketchbooks and just like writing down all my ideas and just like, like this kind of sketchbook thing, like with all these drawings and whatever, like all these things. And they're all like these ideas, and then sometimes they'll be, oh yeah. Yeah. What I do is also I cut out like words from newspapers and stuff, and I just like put them together into poems and stuff like that. But I never know when to glue them, like because you have all these words, and then to put them on the paper you have to like glue them, so they're a sentence. But then I'm like, I'm not sure it should be this sentence. Maybe I should like keep it up. So I have all these like plastic folders with these like words floating around and cutouts floating around.
You have to learn to convert potentialities into outcomes more efficiently. You've got
some of them
potentialities. You're overweighting potentialities from outcomes. You got to glue those fuckers down.
I know. Sometimes I do, but a lot of them.
You've got a whole shitload of finished poems there. All you got to do is apply glue.
Yeah, I know.
And then you can always cut out more things, and you have more things floating around waiting to be used. What we don't need are more raw materials for making shit.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying it's very similar to this format, isn't it?
It is.
It's like more and more raw material, like more. Yeah, I really like the hands-on, like this kind of stuff, like backwards writing and.
Backwards writing? Wow.
If you write with the left hand, it's backwards.
That's impressive. You're good at all the shit I'm not good at. I'm not good at those kind of things at all.
Well, see, I know that you're good at drawing. I just have this feeling.
I've gotten
that kind of
pretty cool-looking drawings, okay? I've gotten decent at making pretty cool-looking drawings when I'm not trying to draw anything in particular. And it just kind of comes out of the wood, so to speak, And it's just like I make a mistake here, and now that looks kind of like a nose, and that becomes a nose kind of a thing.
Yeah, but that's when it's good for me too. It's the same thing for me. Whenever I try to, make pretty things, they're just not pretty at all. And it's always that's why I'm saying like when I have other jobs, and then I have what do you call this thing where you just like put the color, like when you draw, you just test the colors out. What do you call that? The palette? Color palette?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So then out of that palette, that's always where the best stuff comes out. Because I start seeing all these colors, and then I start drawing stuff out of that. And then they end up being way better than the actual piece.
I don't know because I've not worked with paint, except maybe once when I was like a long time ago, and found it incredibly frustrating. I think it was probably because I was trying to paint pictures of things. But show me more stuff in your book.
Let's see. So I glue stuff that inspires me. Yayoi Kusama, this Japanese artist. And let's see. Heroes writing. writing some notes. Um, that's like some weird creature. Let's see when I find, if I can find, oh yeah, there's this stuff as well. I did this the other day.
Wow, that's cool.
I can show you some other things though. Wait, because I was just had a meeting with this art guy, and so this is like, I make these kind of collages. Can you see it?
Yeah, it looks like there's rocks
Hey.
falling from the sky and the back on like old timey background.
Yeah, it's like these alien.
It looks like they're in the picture itself. It doesn't look like they're pasted onto it.
Yeah, because I make them quite. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, I can sort of see. That's great. That's really interesting.
Like weird floating beings.
I love extroverted intuition. You're what Kit Kats will be in like 10 years, I think. You know, Kit Kat's
Yeah.
an INFP, but she reminds me a lot of.
I always have that with INFPs. I really have this kind of soul sister feeling with INFPs. Let's see.
Yeah.
Because she's always making art.
Right, yeah, she's drawing pictures all the time, doodles and whatnot, and you know, that makes me happy, of course, when I encounter other people who are keeping themselves artistically busy. It makes me happy. Because I think that no matter what else happens, you're not going to be happy in life if you're not doing that.
Yeah, I think it's a need, really. It's kind of staying in touch with whatever it is, with yourself, and it's kind of meditative for me. That's like another. I actually did some measuring on that one, which is kind of unlike me, but
That's very extroverted thinking of you.
yeah, I was practicing my TE. This is no TE though. This is just like pure flow, no measuring.
Wow. What are those are the alien things up close or what?
Yeah, they kind of look like almost like hairballs or something.
Right, yeah. Or yeah, that's crazy. That's cool. Where did you get the old picture from? Or did
Yeah, this is a magazine from like the 50s or something, I think. I don't know, some 40s or 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get like vintage stores. I've been doing loads of stuff with like Playboy magazines as well from like the 80s, 70s, and the 80s.
I can't really see what that is.
It's like it's like this muscle man, but then I cut
Okay.
bits out. Looks like weird things. I like when it kind of messes with your mind.
That'll motivate me to do it. Anyway, I've got all these various things that I've made that I'm going to be selling in the marketplace that are transubstantiated talking to famous people artifacts. You see, they have magic powers. They're yet to be revealed, but they've undergone a certain transubstantiation ceremony.